I'm having a hard time today being white. I mean, I am. I'm in a manner of speaking. I mean, I realized I didn't have any choice or what race I was going to be born into any more so than any other human being did. But I know how I was brought up. I know how I have been enculturated in American society and what I have been led to believe my entire life. My entire life. And I'll tell you, that's what part one of the book I wrote is all about. But it's something that I didn't pay that much attention to. I mean, in retrospect, I can look back in a memoir and say, well, this happened and oh my, and that happened, oh my. I see it now from this perspective and have for quite some time. But today I saw that video for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time. And yeah, I got tears in my eyes, tears of shame. Shame. Do you understand? I don't know how many of my white listeners get that. Maybe you do. I don't know the makeup of every single listener that I have to this podcast. But tears of shame burn, whereas tears of grief don't. That's been my experience. Tears of grief are a release. Tears of shame, they're painful. It hurts to cry when you're crying because you're ashamed. And that's what it was like today. When I was watching this. I apologize if this sounds like me. I'm going to get on here and use George Floyd's death and Derek Chauvin's trial as something about me. That's not what I'm trying to do here. What I always have this feeling that if I am honest and open as a white person about my trip from total innocence through all the racist bullshit that was pumped into me, through my own racist attitudes, up to a point in my adulthood where it became clear to me that I was fucking crazy and continued to thinking like that. That maybe, when I talk about this stuff on a personal level, maybe it'll resonate with some other white people out there. I don't know. But I can't do a podcast and sit here and talk in neutral terms about some of this stuff any more than I could about the orange bastard Trump or any of these issues. I can't do it. I'm in it because this is stuff that's happening in my world, in my country, my culture. And my race is responsible for it. There's no way to avoid that. I don't give a shit. You cannot hide from it, my white brothers and sisters. We cannot. Wrong pronoun. We, not you. We cannot hide from this. This is our setup. This is the way we structured everything. And again, okay, the Malloy disclaimer. I know you didn't do it, my white listener. Neither did I. I didn't set up these institutions, but I'm part of it. Just like you are. I mean, we can't, if we're honest, we cannot get away from that. And I'm not suggesting that all of us whites just wallow around in our shame and our guilt. Shit, no, I don't mean that at all. But in order to make changes, you have to understand what it is you want to change from to begin with. My thought has always been that, not always, my thought has been once I became aware of what was happening, that we whites can't approach this objectively. We can't let's go cure things for the colored folk. Let's go bring things in balance for people of color or black folk, African. No. That's not how it works. If you're thinking that way, that's fucked up thinking. And this is where it's hard for white people to get this. We don't have to change a goddamn thing about about black folk. Nothing. We don't have to minister to them. We don't have to rescue them. We don't have to explain things to them. Do you know what white people have to do? We have to undo the shit that we have done for 4 centuries in this country. We have to work on our legal system, and not black people's legal system. We have to work on our socioeconomic system. It doesn't belong to them. We have to work on our attitude. It's not their attitude that's fucked things up, it's ours. Do we not understand that? And white folk who are motivated, I want to do something for my black brothers and sisters. I know, I'll go help with in the food pantry. Okay, that's a very nice charitable thing to do, but that's what it is. It's charity, and there's nothing wrong with charity. But we're talking about the entire system. The entire system that we created, that have put black people in a hole up to their chin. And every time they try to crawl out, a few of them do crawl out, but every time most of them try to crawl out, there's somebody standing there kicking them right back down into the hole. And I'm not talking about victimization or victimhood or any of that bullshit. I'm talking about the reality of what we've done and how we goddamn sure better change it. We have got to do this. And part of it is understanding the subjectivity of what's going on, the empathy, the sympathy, all of it. Let me put myself in his position. Well, I can't do that. Okay, then let me educate myself to the point where I understand fully and completely, not as a white savior or a white rescuer or a white person who feels sorry because of the way things are. Bullshit on all of that. Let me address this issue as a white person who will seek to knock down every single fucking barrier between equal this and equal that, equal protection, equal opportunity, equal access, all of it. And with very few exceptions up to this point, white folk, we haven't done that. I mean, we talk the talk, we just don't walk the walk. And my question would be, when are we going to do it? It's the George Floyd murder and now trial. I mean, it activated the goddamn world. There were people all over the world who picked up on the Black Lives Matter thing and carried George Floyd pictures and marching through the streets of Paris or Berlin or London or Tokyo or wherever. No, we don't have an exclusive franchise on racism. We're not the only culture, society, nation who used enslaved people. No, we're not. But those other places have to take care of their shit. We have to address what's going on here and what continues to go on. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity.
But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.